Hey, Greg Coopman here. Today I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about a model that I'm going to use in a bunch of demos for Power BI, and I wanted to make sure that the people watching the videos, if they want to download um, the data for those models, they could. Now, what the problem is that it's all the tables are mapped to my local SQL server, to my own local database, and all set up a certain way. So it's a lot easier for the demos to give you Excel tables so that, there's not going to be any problem because you can't get to my data in my database, but you can get to Excel files. And so if you want to manipulate them on your own and do other things, you're able to do that. So that's what I'm trying to do here. But initially, I want to populate that model with data, okay, from my SQL server, specifically from my AdventureWorks 2016 DW 2016. Okay, sorry. And so basically, I created views that I'm going to use in my demos, very basic demos, because you get all this extra. Even this is probably too much, the number of tables I have here in data, but I've tried to minimize it a lot more than what it would have been before. Views help me do that. Okay, so anyways, let's just take a look at what I got here. So what I'm going to do is put the data into the Power BI from the SQL server. Then I'm going to show you how to put them into an Excel worksheet, okay? Then use those worksheets and create the demos, okay? So let's see what we got here. So basically, what I've done here is I've created a schema called View Light, and basically I have other views that are view full, all right, which I just call view. So View Light allows, it's like I say, it's just a stripped down version of the views. And the views are coming directly from the tables that are found in the DW. So basically I have about 5 different areas here. Let's see, I got 6 tables or 6 views I want to bring the data in from. And we'll go through that, okay? So, basically, again, I've made them a little lighter so that when we zip them up and send them to you, you don't have quite so much extra data hanging around, although you will have extra data hanging around, but this makes the footprint a little smaller. Okay, I'm not going to go into the views. We're going to go into that in other demos and other videos. So let's just go ahead and import some of these. So in this case, I'm just going to bring all the data in from these views. This isn't really quite how I do it. I probably want to bring them in. So I'm going to go to SQL Server. I'm going to type in let's see, is this my PC? And AdventureWorks DW 2016. Let's do an import. That way I import a bunch of tables all at once, okay? Or those views. So I say import. Now it pulls up another screen. And I'll be looking for my view lights, which are right here. Okay. Actually, I could just say view light here. View light. And there they all are. So I want to get all of those guys. Okay, and I'm not going to do any transformation of data in this case. I'm just going to go ahead and load them. Okay, so we got our load. It automatically arranged some of the columns, the primary keys and all that stuff, or the relationships rather. So let me just kind of arrange these a little bit so you can see it. This is what we brought in here. For the models, of course, we have a dim table. And I'll go into why I make views later instead of just going from the regular tables. So let's just arrange these. So I'm going to go ahead and put my dimensions at the top and my fact tables below them. So basically I have two fact tables. One is a product inventory and the other is a fact internet sales. Not a whole lot to this. I might put these in a special order. But anyway, this is all going to be erased pretty soon. So let me just make sure. Actually, I don't have to worry about the relationships. Really, what I'm concerned with is getting this data out to Excel files. Okay? Or one Excel file, then bring that in. That's really what I want to do here. So let's just go about that and do it now. So this is a poor man's way of doing this. I think this works well enough for these demos. But it's a little thing that you might say. Wouldn't expect it to be so simple. That's why I'm bringing it to you, because a lot of times I miss things that are simple, the simple way of doing things. And when I do see the simple way, sometimes you just have to do it and show people that. And vice versa, when I watch my videos, that I'm learning from, which I do all the time, it's nice to see some little, you think they're tricks, and actually they're so simple that you just can't believe they're that easy to do. So, and that's kind of what this video is about from the learning aspect of this. So let's just go ahead and right now, obviously, we're in our table designer, model designer, and we're just going to go to the table version of this so we can see the data, right? No big deal. So what you do is you just come over to the side. So here's let's get a little more space here. Here's my dim customer and all my other guys, right? So all I'm going to do is just right click on it, copy table, go over to Excel and just create a new spreadsheet, a new workbook, and I'll just say paste. And that's my dim customer. Rename my sheet to dim customer. Dim customer. Voila. Let me go ahead and create a few more of these guys so that we're ready for the other 5 or 6 that we'll bring in. And I do the same with the other ones. So I'm just going to do this, put it on fast forward, and you'll see, and we'll be back. Okay, so let me do the same thing here. Okay, so I've gotten all my data into this Excel workbook. And as you see, I have dim customer, I have dim date, dim product, dim promotion, fact internet sales, and fact product inventory. Okay, so I named it the name of this particular video. Okay, so as you see, we do have all the data here. And what I'm going to do is use this Excel workbook and replace my SQL Server connections with a connection to this Excel workbook and use this data so that we're on the same page. Students that are watching this can then utilize that Excel spreadsheet for their data so they can follow along, and if they want to modify it later, whatever, they can do so. Okay, so I'm back to my Power BI demo report, and we still have our SQL Server stuff there. So what I'm going to do is quickly delete all these guys. Okay, so I've deleted all the connections over to the SQL Server. Now I want to get data and pull from my Excel spreadsheet. So we're on the same page on my demos here. So I select my worksheet from the Get Data. And here it is, and it identifies my tab names, which is great. So I'm going to choose all those. No big deal. Very easy. And I'm not going to transfer any data. I'm just going to load it. So now it's loading them from Excel. So now my workbooks, or rather my Power BI dashboards, are dependent on an Excel, which is very portable. I can give to you, and you can use it and experiment with it. Okay, that's what it's all about here. That's the whole demo, and also the demo. This video is to help you see how you can do this. So you might have some sort of scenario or proof of concept you want to hand off to another person, but they really might not have access to your SQL Server or whatever, and you just want to give it to them in a portable way. They can take it home, or maybe not take it home, but they are able to work on it without having to go through a whole bunch of rigmarole. Okay, so let's see what we got. So we could close this, and again, now I go ahead and put my dimensions at the top, like a good boy, and it actually makes it easier to visualize this, at least in this model. Get my connections ready. And let's see, so product promotion. One more here. Dim date. So date key, I'm going to set up that up. It didn't recognize a date key here because it has so many different keys. So we're just going to pull the date key down into order date. Let that be the primary relationship. Date key already, but it needs its product key. So let's grab that product key and relate it to this product key. Okay. All right. So we have our relationship there. We have a nice portable data set, and that's really what I wanted to show you guys what we're doing here. And to make this whole thing really work is that not only, like we went from SQL Server, my SQL Server on my local machine, and we redid all this to Excel so it would be portable. But again, my Excel is sitting in a certain folder, which probably isn't going to be the same folder that you have on your machine or where you place it. So when you first go into the report, the demo report you download, you're going to see the model, you're going to see the data, and all that's cool, right? Except, and you're not going to notice the problem, and you might not need to do this. And if you don't need to do it, no problem. Just leave it the way it is. But let's say, for example, I want to add a column to the Excel spreadsheet for something or other, right? Or change. Let's say we want to change the dim product, right? So I'm in dim product, and I have some sort of, or let's just say for some reason I want to refresh this right now. Let's refresh it right now. Okay, so I'm in some sort of report. I have some sort of something here, right? And I say, I got to refresh the data because I went out and updated the data. So when I hit refresh, it's going to say, oh, I can't refresh it because I can't find the file, which you see right here, because the file internally in metadata is mapped to, this path here, Greg Coopman teaching Camtasia, whatever, and you're not going to get to it, right? But all you have to do is change that path, and then you can modify the tables so that it works in your proof of concept, whatever you're doing, and it will work. Okay, so that's what I need to show you at the very end here, because as soon as you hit that refresh button, it's not going to refresh. It's going to send out this error to you unless for some unbelievable reason you have exactly the same folder path that I have with my name in it, which I doubt you have. Okay, so but if you don't have to refresh your data and you're working it and you're able to work with the data that's been pushed into the report itself or the dashboard itself, then you're okay, no problem. Okay, so let's just close this up and show you how to reset the position of that Excel spreadsheet. Now, the reason why this is here is because after I finished the first part of this video, I moved the Excel spreadsheet over to another location. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is repoint to that new location so that you can see how that works. Okay, so the way I get to the sources, the data source, so I can change the path, it is demo light. Okay. In my case, it's demo light. By the time this video gets out, we might have changed the name, so we recognize that. But right now, I have it set to demo light, and there's my path to where it is. Okay, which isn't where it was. So now I'm going to go back over to my Power BI report. I'm going to go into my regular report designer here. I'm going to go to my not recent sources, but transform data. And in here, you're going to click on the little down arrow, and here you're going to see data source settings. And here's where it was. Okay, so if I go to change, I need to have that selected. Go to change source, Okay, and here's where it was. It was under Greg ODB, wow, a lot of stuff, right? So anyways, that isn't the right place. But this is the name of the, let's make this easier. Let me just browse. Here we go, demo light, and there it is. Okay, so that's the new path and the name that I'm using, okay? That is the table. So I'm going to say okay, and now we're good. So now I can close this up, and that's the place where you place the file once you downloaded it into your computer. You put it on, let's say, C drive, C:\temp. So then you put it there, and then you'd aim this to that location, okay? Then I click refresh, and everything should work out nice and easy, and everything, as you see, is creating connection to model. It's loading the data, and the world is beautiful again. So that ends the video, and thanks for watching. I hope it helped.